The Champions League is back!
Hey, bring it on.
I'm so excited. PSG, Juve, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Bayern, Liverpool, all the big teams.
Rangers
are
and Celtic.
We can't forget them. Dad, how many likes are we getting for this one? Come on.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is the Champions League. 40,000 likes. And you know what? If you can't do that, I'm quitting YouTube.
What?
When we get to 1 million. That's it. I'm
Dad,
gone.
don't say things like that.
I'm going to my farm in Montenegro.
No! Don't do it, Dad! Right, we're starting with Dinamo Zagreb against Chelsea. Tell me how this game is going to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, do not underestimate Dinamo Zagreb. They're a massive team in Croatia, Theo. 10 internationals. Absolutely fanatical support, Theo. What do you think is going to happen here?
8th time in the Champions League for them consecutively. They got a great result against Tottenham. They beat them at their own place 3-0. Mislav Orsic, masterclass. They've only lost one in the last 13 home clashes, so never write off the Croatians. Which way is it going to go?
Well, I'll tell you what, Chelsea have had an indifferent start to the season, Theo, but that man, Raheem Sterling, is starting to find some form.
Yep.
And I look at the value of these squads. Zagreb, less than 100 million. Chelsea, over 700 million. I think because of that, it'll be close, but Chelsea will nick it.
My prediction, Dinamo Zagreb 0, Chelsea 2. I think Kovacic will score against the Croatian club and Aubameyang on his debut. This will be the match he shines.
Wow, that is a massive shout. I'm thinking Zagreb 0, Chelsea 1.
But don't write off the Croatians. Over to the Rhineland region in Germany. Dortmund versus Copenhagen. Who you backing for this one, Dad?
Well, Borussia Dortmund second in the Bundesliga this season, not scoring as many goals because of the lack of an Erling Haaland, Theo.
That's
Still got some good players, though. I mean, Jude Bellingham is probably the most high-profile player these days.
Well, Donny Malen was signed and he can't play. They've got Karim Adeyemi, who's a doubt for this match after a little injury problem. A lot of doubts for Dortmund. Do you think they still can win?
Well, I'll tell you what, Sebastian Haller went to the club, but unfortunately he's been diagnosed with testicular cancer, so we wish him all the best. He was brilliant in the UCL last season, but they're up against Copenhagen, Theo, who've had an indifferent start to the season. 1-4, lost 4 in the Danish league. Surely they've got no chance. You know what? I think this is going to be Borussia Dortmund 2, Copenhagen 0.
Well, they've had more Champions League appearances than any other Danish club. Marco Reus's form, you have to back him. 4 goal contributions in the last 5 games, and in Champions League terms, he's 3-3 for goals. So I'm going to go a small 1-0 win. Dortmund have won their last 2 games 1-0, so they'll make it a triple. But good luck to Copenhagen. Never write them off. And with Victor Claesson, he's scored in a European competition the last 10 times running.
Benfica of Portugal against Maccabi Haifa of Israel, Theo. And both these teams have got 100% records in their respective leagues, Theo. What's going to happen here?
Never write off the Eagles, 2-time European champions. I was there in a knockout round last year in the Champions League where it was Darwin Núñez to score against Liverpool. Now Darwin Núñez is a Liverpool player, and that's 1 player less, but it's not affecting them. After 4 qualifier wins, a perfect beginning with 5 wins in the league, 15 points on the board. Will they continue this form against Maccabi Haifa? They're favourites too, but never write off the Israelis.
Well, I'll tell you what, João Mario is smashing it this season for Benfica. He's a central midfielder, Super Mario.
He's already surpassed last year's stats.
I know,
in a few games. It's unbelievable. How did Maccabi Haifa do? Talk to me about, they've not been in this competition for ages.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of passion in Israeli football. I think if you actually go to Haifa or Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, it's a hard place to go to play football.
Dad, they went 6 group fixtures last time in 2009 without a win.
Yes,
and that was the same group with Juve, and they're in with Juve again. Could we see a similar story?
I think they'll do better this time, but you know what? Benfica will be too good for them. I'm going 3-1.
Barak Bakar had to knock out Red Star Belgrade, though, in a qualifier to get to the Champions League knockouts. And do you know what? He smashed it. A 5-4 aggregate win. To win it in Belgrade in the 90th minute, that showed real fight from Maccabi Haifa. But I think it's too much for them because they haven't won in a Champions League fixture since 2002. And I think it will come in a home game. They will win this year, but it'll be a home match. So I'm going to go Benfica 2, Maccabi Haifa 0.
You don't think Haifa will Haifa nice?
What do you even mean by that? You're a mug. Let's just move on.
Glasgow Celtic against Real Madrid, Theo.
Before the Champions League draw, Captain Callum McGregor said, I want Real Madrid. The UEFA Bulls have given him Real Madrid. Now you have to turn up.
I tell you what, Glasgow Celtic are smashing it this season. 5 points ahead in the SPFL. And at the weekend, they beat Rangers 4-0. Rangers fans don't want me to say that.
Celtic Park will be rocking. And it's the first time they've been in a Champions League appearance since 17-18 season, which is some time. And to do it against the Champions League winners, it's going to be insane.
I'll tell you what, there's a few players who are smashing it this season, Theo. Jota, 4 goals and 4 assists. Diogo Furuhashi, 6 goals in 6 games. So there's a lot of goals in that team.
Yeah, winning in 8 matches, 35 goals. The boys should be confident. But when they beat Barcelona in 2012, 2-1, they've not beaten a Spanish club since. Do they have the minerals to do it again?
Well, they're up against Real Madrid. This is the thing. We know that Celtic Park will be bouncing, but they're playing one of the best teams in the world who've got a 100% record, 4 out of 4 in La Liga, Theo. And you know what? These two teams played 10 years ago. Who was on the score sheet? Karim Benzema.
So Real Madrid only have one win since October 2014 on British Isles, so they could be a bit shaky coming into this. And with Ange, who actually played as a footballer under Puskas, Real Madrid legend, he may take some inspiration. Could we see a Celtic upset?
2 words, Theo. Karim Benzema. Last season, 15 goals. He got the golden boot. He's smashing it this season.
No.
I think this is going to be a superb game of football, Theo. The atmosphere, the passion will be astonishing.
No.
It's going to be Glasgow Celtic 1, Real Madrid 2.
I disagree. The atmosphere, you can clip me if you think I'm a mug here, but the atmosphere, the fans, Celtic Park in itself. I was there against Zenit in a Champions League game, and I know what the comments will be like, yeah, it's Zenit. That is the same as anywhere. Why did they beat them in Barcelona 2-1? Why did they beat them at home against Barcelona 2-1 in 2012? Tony Watt scored the winner, for God's sake. They had more character. They had more fight. It's going to happen again. I'm telling you.
Theo,
it's a 2-2 draw. That's my prediction.
Wow. It's wonderful that Celtic and Rangers are in the last 32. It's brilliant for Scottish football. It's great for Great Britain. But the value of the squads, look at the difference between the Real Madrid squad and the Celtic squad.
Do you think they had the highest value in 67 when they won the European competition? No, but they had
Football
more fight than anybody else.
was very different then.
They had more fight than anybody else, and that runs through the club culture, and it will happen in this game. Hold me to it. 2-2 draw. Let's see what happens. If we're wearing the club shirt of the next matchday fixture, you have to hit the like button.
Do it. Paris Saint-Germain against Juventus.
It's not, you're lying.
It is the game of the tournament. Now, PSG are top of the French league on goal difference from Marseille. They're scoring 4 goals every single game, Theo.
It wouldn't surprise me if you slap an early bet on an early goal, because it has been the case 3 of the 7 last seasons. It's been PSG or Juve, early goal.
But, Theo, they always struggle against Italian teams. Let's talk about the 3 main men. I know it's boring, but add up the goal contributions of Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi. 6 games this season, 17 goals and 12 contributions.
But, Dad, and it's amazing that they're doing it in Ligue 1, their opener in the Champions League usually ends in a loss. It has done at the last 4 fixtures 3 times. That's really dodgy.
But what about Juventus? They're unbeaten this season in the Italian league, but they've had 3 draws.
Well, they'll be excited to play Donnarumma, because when he was at Milan, he failed to win 13 times out of 15 against Juventus.
We saw Juventus a couple of times last season. In Vlahovic, they've got a good striker. He's scoring a goal a game at the moment.
But Milik scored on the weekend.
Yes.
If you had Italian fantasy, everyone had Vlahovic, and Milik was the goal scorer. So they've got options.
PSG have never won the trophy. They've only won 3 times against Italian opposition. I think this could be a surprise.
Let's talk historically, Dad. 3 wins, draw 9, lost 9. Do you know what that is? It's PSG's form against Italian clubs. Surely Juventus, that gives them confidence, even though on paper they have a worse team.
Agreed, Theo. I'm going PSG 2. They're bound to score a couple of goals. Juventus 2.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to go PSG to win, though. 2-0, and I think it's going to be a messy brace.
But, Theo, Juventus have only conceded 2 goals in the league this season.
But they haven't scored enough either.
True.
And if they had done, they'd be top of the league. But it's AC Milan having a party.
RB Leipzig against Shakhtar Donetsk. Now, Leipzig went out at the group stage last season. They've started the Bundesliga very badly. 11th place, I think. But in Christopher Nkunku and Timo Werner, they've got guys who could score goals.
Can they score goals?
I
They
don't
just
know.
lost 4-0 away at Frankfurt on the weekend.
They did.
Horrible result. And Frankfurt, I watched them live against Real Madrid. They're not even that good.
But they're playing Shakhtar Donetsk. Now, they're a Ukrainian team.
Yeah.
The season has only just started. Now, Shakhtar will play all of their games outside the Ukraine.
In Warsaw, and it sold out instantly. That will give the players a real boost to know that the fans are still there to support them. They have a wonder kid in Miliko Midrik, who had serious bids from Arsenal and Brentford.
Yeah.
He's a winger. He's got the long blonde hair. He's got an opportunity to put his name up in lights, and I think he could.
Yeah, but you know what, Theo? I think this is going to be Leipzig's day. I think this is when they bounce back 3-0.
Yeah, and Nkunku scored in every of the last 4 home fixtures in all competitions. I think he'll score again. Maybe even a penalty. I'm going to go 3-0. It's going to be a battering. They've got something to prove after their horrible recent form.
RB Salzburg against AC Milan.
Whee!
Salzburg are top of the Bundesliga, the Austrian Bundesliga, which they've won 9 times in a row, a bit like Celtic. Do the Austrians have any chance?
Well, they've got 9 straight domestic league titles, which is madness, right? And they've qualified for the Champions League again. They actually got a pretty good home record from last season, but against AC Milan, it might be curtains, because they've proven, even on Derby Day, they can pick up 3 points. They are domestic title holders. They've got the Scudetto on their shirt. With Rafael Leao, you could double up on him. You could do whatever you want, but he's one of the best left wingers in the world. And on that left flank with Theo Hernandez behind him, luckily he didn't get a red card in the Milan derby, but that is one of the best left sides in football. They've had bids from all over the place, but whilst that still continues, AC Milan will have European success. Maybe not as good success as 1994, where they last won the Champions League, but with Italian dominance coming back into football, it's key that they do this to get more TV rights and more money into the Serie A. Salzburg 1, AC Milan 2. They're going to shine and got a little cheeky run.
You know what? I think this is going to be a 1-1 draw.
No!
I think Salzburg will surprise Milan.
Dad, you're such a mug. This is the year Milan dominate in games like this. You're going to be wrong here. Let's move on to the next game.
Sevilla against Manchester City. Now, Sevilla of Spain had a horrible start to La Liga. They are in 16th place.
Not the one.
But listen to some of these names of their players.
That's it.
Adnan Januzaj, Eric Lamela, Alex Telles, and Jesus Navas against his former team.
Yeah, but they're playing against the best team in the world.
I know they are.
And they had a stuttering form in Spain. 3-0 Man City. I don't even need to stand here and talk about it. I'm sorry.
Wow, Erling Braut Haaland, 10 goals out of 20. Man City is smashing it, even though they've had a couple of draws. But Theo, can they keep up that intensity every week?
Pep might actually have great Premier League form, but he struggles travelling in the Champions League with 3 losses out of 6 games. That's really bad form for Manchester City, and one of them, I was there. It was a 6-5 aggregate where Madridsters got the final laugh over 2 legs.
I'm going to go Sevilla 1, Manchester City 3.
Erling Haaland in your UEFA fantasy team's captain, no-brainer, get it done.
Ajax of Amsterdam against Rangers of Glasgow, Theo. Ajax made a great start, 100% record in the Eredivisie, Theo. And that man, Steven Bergwijn, is absolutely smashing it.
Actually, he's the first player to score 6+ goals since Luis Suarez in the Eredivisie in the first 5 games. That is an unbelievable statistic.
They've still got Lucas Ocampos. He's come from Sevilla. And Dusan Tadic still smashing it.
Calvin Bassey, the centre-back from Rangers, who they're facing. Could he score?
Oh, my goodness. But let's talk about Rangers, Theo. They were humbled in the Old Firm derby. They'll want to forget that 4-0 drubbing against Celtic. But they've got some good talent.
Well, Van Bronckhorst stated that this can never happen again against any opponent in his most recent post-match interview. As the former Feyenoord man faces the one team he faced more than anyone else without a win as a player.
Oh my goodness.
And that's Ajax.
Yes.
And they're facing in the European competition.
Well, they've got Antonio Kolak, Theo, a young Croatian lad. He's got 4 goals already for Rangers this season. Not setting the world alight, but my goodness, what a good run in the Europa League last season.
Exactly. In all competitions, he's got 7 in the last 10. Antonio Kolak is their bit of faith. I still think this could be a tight Ajax win with the home form. I've seen what the Johan Cruyff Arena looks like on match day. The atmosphere is ridiculous. That's one thing. Rangers fans do deserve more. That 4-0 Celtic should not be taken lightly by the Rangers fans. That was embarrassing.
Won't be, Theo.
No, it won't be.
Won't be.
That was a disgrace, and they need a response. Let's see if they have the determination. But right now, I can only predict Ajax 2. Rangers 1.
And I think it's going to be Ajax 3, Rangers 1. I think it's a step too far for Rangers.
Yeah. However, they did knock out other Dutch giants, PSV, in the qualifiers.
Yeah. Eintracht Frankfurt against Sporting Club de Portugal.
Yes.
Now, these are 2 teams who've made really poor starts to the season. What's going to happen here?
Well, you say poor starts. They battered Leipzig 4-0. They showed some character. And
true.
It's the first time they've qualified for the Champions League since 1960. Do you know what happened that year? They went to the final. Could they do it again? Well, their fans aren't too confident with players like Kostic, who was key last season in European success, gone to Juventus, the shirt you're wearing. How will they do?
Well, they've still got Mario Götze, they've got Daichi Kamada, they've got some good players in there.
That's a good point, actually. And RB Leipzig, when they smashed them 4-0, that brought confidence. And one of the goal scorers, Rafael Bor, the Colombian striker, he loves a goal at the minute. And he also scored the winner in the Europa League final against Rangers. I was there. Rangers we spoke about last, but Sporting, we must give them respect. They stand a chance.
They've got Francisco Trincao. I'm surprised by that. On loan from Barcelona. Pedro Goncalves. 3 goals, 2 assists in 5 games.
Yeah. Sporting's form against Germans, they've only won once out of 8 fixtures. Is that a worry?
It is a worry, Theo, but having said that, Frankfurt scoring a lot this season and conceding a lot. I think there might be goals here, although strangely, I've given a 2-1 prediction to Frankfurt.
Well, I think Sporting should have signed that Ronaldo contract because they've lost to Chavez and Porto already this season and they need to turn it around. As things stand, I'm going Frankfurt 2, Sporting 0. And that's not me disrespecting Portuguese clubs. I predicted Benfica to win already, so you can't have a go at me. I just think at home, Frankfurt have got it.
Atletico Madrid against FC Porto, Spain against Portugal. It's sort of an Iberian derby, if I can say that.
It kicks off when a Portuguese team plays a Spanish team. I think they played last year, Atletico and Porto. Griezmann scored a brace and it went off. The fans, it kicked off. There was a different match going on outside the stadium.
You mentioned Griezmann, you've got Morata, you've got João Felix. There's goals there, aren't there?
There is. And with Simeone, they've qualified now for 10 times in a row to the Champions League. They're looking to shine. I mean, quite frankly, their defensive form hasn't been as good this season as it was in the 17-18 year in the Europa League where they were unbeaten 5 games in a row in a knockout stage. But what they do have is Morata. Morata's scoring goal. João Felix scored against Manchester United last year, but hasn't scored since April. Won an opportunity to do it against Portuguese opponents, the nation where he's from. Will he do it?
I don't think he will. I'm not a huge fan, Theo. I think they overpaid for the lad. But they're up against a team who's got Taremi, probably is the biggest threat.
Taremi, the Iranian, loves a goal away. I think he could smash it. However, is their team good enough?
No, I don't think it is. I think it'll be a close game.
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid are not a high-scoring team.
True.
1-0 here.
But Porto, they'll be looking to recreate that Jose season, 03-04.
Yeah.
What do they need to do to dig deep and find that?
Well, do you know what, Theo? I always think of Porto as a home team.
Yeah.
They always had this brilliant home record. There's a fortress in Porto.
I think they're going to figure out a way of getting a draw.
Ooh.
When it's fiery and the Spanish club plays as Portuguese club, especially the leaders of Portugal, Porto, they are the #1 team. They are the title holders. I think it's going to be 2-2.
FC Barcelona against Victoria Plzen of the Czech Republic, who are second in the league behind Slavia Prague. Only conceded once this season. They are reinvigorated compared to where they were 12 months ago.
Catalonia will be rocking considering Dembele, Lewandowski and Rafinha are smashing at the moment. The last 2 games, 7 goals, 0 conceded. You've got a shock on your face.
I know, Theo. Everyone's taking a sort of retirement down in Barcelona.
It's not a retirement, Dad. I
Yes,
wouldn't be complaining on the
I
pitches.
wouldn't either.
Not even De Jong gets on the team right now because their midfield consists of Busquets, Pedri and Gavi. So much depth, so much money. It's a big investment and I think they'll start it off against these Czech opponents winning 4-0. Lewandowski with a hat-trick, Rafinha with 1. I'm sorry to the Czech lads. I know they're unbeaten in their own domestic league. They're second, but it won't be enough for this Barca team, right?
Yeah, Lewandowski was second in the Golden Boot race last season for Bayern Munich. He's scoring more than a goal a game down in Spain. I agree with you. 4-0 to Barcelona.
If there's anyone to shine for Victoria Pilsen, it's going to be Mosquera, the Colombian forward, but it won't be enough.
Club Bruges against Bayer Leverkusen. Bruges, I didn't even know where it is. It's in Belgium.
That's not roasting them, by the way. That's just the film.
That's a quote from a film.
However, Dad, the Bruges derby happened.
Yes.
Mignolet, in a press conference, said that was a nice little warm-up, a good rehearsal for the Champions League night against Bayer Leverkusen. And quite frankly, it is. They're on better form. Leverkusen have lost 5 of their last 6 matches in the Bundesliga, home and away. They look awful. Musa Diaby, a Leverkusen fan in the comments, tell me what's happened to him after such a good year last year. A solid 2-1 win, Vanaken to get on the score sheet. What about you?
But I reckon Bruges are going to win this 2-1.
We back them. Same prediction.
Inter Milan against Bayern Munich. Inter Milan have already lost 2 games this season. And Theo, you just returned from there. Talk about them.
I did. Awful defensively. Scored a good goal. Brozovic, really good Croatian midfielder, scored the opener, but they bottled it. He shushed the AC fans.
Yes.
It went back to haunt him. Respect to Inter, where it's due. Barella and the likes of them, good football players. Dumfries, great pace up the right wing. But without Lukaku, it's like a body without the brain.
Lautaro Martinez, Edin Dzeko.
I don't know, man. I know Dzeko scored. Lautaro looked dusted in the Milan derby. He looked a ghost.
Bayern Munich, that is good opposition. They are scoring very freely this season, even without the man Lewandowski. And they're spreading the goals around, aren't they,
And how mad is it, Dad? Inter Bayern, yet that's not even the 2 biggest teams in this group.
Yes.
There's Barcelona as well. This is the group of death.
But who do we look out for at Bayern Munich? Do you know who the highest scorer is this season for Bayern Munich?
I bet you it's like Sané.
No, Theo, it's Musiala and Mane. 3 goals each.
Well, Mane takes pens, so fair enough. But they're all fit. Musiala creating, Mane up top. They've got Sané on the wing. They've got Gnabry on the other side. And they will probably all feature under Nagelsmann. Surely he believes, like he said in a press conference, they can finish first in this group. I think they can.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a brilliant game. Don't go anywhere. But I reckon this will be a 2-2 draw.
That's not the Inter I saw, Thog Dad. And head-to-head, when Inter play Bayern at San Siro, Bayern's 1-3 and it happened again. 2-0 to Bayern. Goals from Mane and Musiala. Eze's better though.
Napoli against Liverpool. Napoli are top of the Serie A on goal difference. They've scored more than anyone in Serie A. And they've got that man, Victor Osimhen, the Nigerian.
This fixture happens every year. Well, on paper, 3 times out of the last 5. But how crazy is that?
It's brilliant. Can Napoli beat Liverpool? We know that Liverpool's form is indifferent, don't we?
Yeah, unbeaten in the Serie A. And with Kovica, the Georgian winger, who smashed it this season, looking one of the best players. And I tweeted that he's the best player in the world. He's on the left wing. He's fit and ready to go. He's going to surprise Liverpool.
Yeah, Zielinski, we like him, don't we, Theo?
We do like him.
Let's not disrespect Liverpool. They were the runners-up in this tournament last season. They were a runners-up in the Premier League. They've had a poor start. They're missing Sadio Mane, aren't they?
They are missing him. However, Darwin Núñez is back. Isn't scoring just yet, but he'll want to do it in the European competition. Diogo Jota's back. Firmino's fit. They've got Salah. They've got Luis Diaz. lots of rotation under Jurgen Klopp's belt in the forward options. Surely this is going to be an away win, right?
And I'm looking forward to seeing Harvey Elliott in Europe. He's going to love that. I think there's going to be a surprise here. I think this is going to be Napoli 1, Liverpool 1.
Do you know what, Dad? Napoli have won 5 of their last 6 home Champions League encounters against English opponents.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. 1-1 draw.
Wow.
We agree. Let's shake on it. Sorry, Liverpool fans. I think they will qualify.
Yes.
But this won't be easy.
And finally, Tottenham Hotspur against Olympique Marseille. Tottenham third in the Premier League, and they've strengthened so much since last year. The likes of Bentancur and Kulusevski and Richarlison and many, many others have come in.
Antonio Conte in his press conference was questioned whether, are you happy with your easy group? And he was like, no, this is not easy.
No.
This is really difficult, and this is the hardest competition in the world. And I think the Italian manager's got a point.
Yes.
Especially considering he's never, I repeat, never made it out of a Champions League group stage competition, made it to a knockout.
That is incredible, Theo. And Olympique Marseille cannot be underestimated.
No.
They are second in the French league, Theo. They've got talent like Dimitri Payet. They've got Luis Suarez. Did you know that, Theo?
They've got Alexis Sanchez.
They've
got
have.
everybody.
Yes.
They've got all the big names. I know what you're saying here. Luis Suarez, Colombian guy. He was the one that used to play for Watford. Ben Foster was teammate.
And also what Olympique Marseille have got is fanatical fans, home and away.
Nuno Tavares will also come back. He's got 3 goals in 5 fixtures in Ligue 1.
But overall, Theo, I reckon it's going to be Spurs 2, Marseille 0.
My prediction, Tottenham 2, Marseille 2. And the reason I'm going for a draw, I still believe Spurs will win the group and Antonio Conte will make it through.
Who's going to win the tournament, Theo? Let us know.
Blur that. See? That's how I've just stated it's going to be the tournament. You don't know.
Well, I tell you who's going to win. It's going to be...
Wow, that's crazy. Can't believe you just said that.
Yeah.
Oh, subscribe if you want us to unblur that version and 40,000 likes. That's it. I'm off. Bye-bye.